Welcome, my fiery and hot Sagittarius. This is your June 2024 reading. This is going to be for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Those who are intuitively guided, you don't know if you have Sagittarius in your chart, but something was like pulling you to your reading. Many times that's your spirit guides. They're nudging you. So you'll probably receive some signs in the reading. Some of you may be in love with the Sagittarius. How could you not be? And if that's the case, if you're here checking up on a Sagittarius, same thing. Your spirit guides know that. So be open to receiving messages for yourself. Um, so for June, first of all, Sagittarius, I feel like you, out of all the signs, are going to have, I feel like June is going to be really good for you. Creatively, I feel like your creative house is just going to be on fire. Romantically, whether you're in a relationship, I feel like romance is going to mm, I don't know. It's just gonna flow. Let's put it that way. If you're not in a relationship, you may find someone, it may just be the beginning, but someone may be introduced into your life and it could turn out that this is the person. This is the one. But keep your options open. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you haven't been lucky in love but you seem to keep bringing in the same type of people, think about your own energy, right? Because this is really, I feel like your vibration is being lifted for June. So I almost cannot wait to get into the cards, and let my intuition just open up to see. Let's see if what I just said's gonna happen. All right, so we're going to use four different decks, guys. We're going to use Mother Mary for her beautiful words of wisdom, but we will take it over the reading. We're going to use, hopefully, my boyfriend's out cutting grass. Hopefully that doesn't come across, but it's a beautiful day out. Anyways, we're going to use the Gilded Tarot to really go deeper. I like to go deep. And that's why my readings are long, just so you know that. I feel like a lot of our answers, our guidance, or what have you, is usually like in the middle of the reading, moving on. You know what I mean? It's like first maybe we need to know where we've been to understand where we're going type of energy. So we'll go deep with them. And then I'm going to use two different tarot decks, which I started doing in April for the monthlies. And I just love how they speak to each other. So what I'm going to use is the Psychic Tarot. And then we're going to also use the Universal Tarot. So we'll take, we're going to let it come out the way it wants to come out, but hopefully it'll be like a line of the Psychic Tarot and then a line of the Universal Tarot and so on and so forth. But we shall see. All right, guys, I'm going to bring the lid down and I'm officially opening this reading. Though I feel like as soon as um, I start, I feel like the reading really is opened up because many times I get guidance for you before we even go into the reading. So let's go ahead and give them a cut. By the way, everything is always pre-shuffled, but I do like to shuffle with you here. All right, Sagittarius, you ready? I'm ready. Let's begin. I also want to remind you time is fluid. Yes, we're saying June, and that is to put like a time period, so to speak, but also like I feel my readings, they find you or you find them in divine timing. So whether I find it like in August, but everything resonates, take that. Believe that. That was the time you were meant to hear it. Um, yeah, okay. Let's open this up. Well, hello, Foundation and Achievements. How about accelerated motion? Look at this woman. She's looking at a star. She's making a wish. And it feels like that wish, because we have accelerated motion, very quickly comes back to you. I feel like then you want to, know what you're wishing for. It's like it feels almost instant. But let's keep going. Look at this. Temperance. There's your card. Called patience in this deck. And that's really what temperance, one of her messages is about patience. Why? So you can trust in divine timing. It's like divine knows the perfect time to bring whatever is coming together for you together. I also feel like temperance is, I feel like she also has a role with the soulmates. And I feel like part of her role is to make sure, let's just say that both of the cups of the soulmates are equally filled. You know what I mean? Like, potentially on the same vibration. And then you have hello, rejoice and celebration. Following divine timing. I'll take it. So we open up with what they call the marriage card or the commitment card, whatever you want to say. And it's interesting because again, this woman, let's just say, can be a man, but she's like looking and it looks like the North Star. But I definitely feel like she's making a wish. It's also a number 8. Eights are about new beginnings. So potentially she's asking for a new beginning. In what? Well, maybe love, since we do have the marriage card here. But it doesn't have to just be that. Sometimes it's just making a commitment to myself, a commitment to the things that I want to accomplish in my life. And then now it potentially feels like the right time. Definitely saying that, maybe I've had to have patience, but now, because we have the 3 cups next to temperance, I feel like it's saying, again, quickly, you're manifesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring in the Universal Tarot. Give it a shuffle or two. And it's interesting because I normally don't use these 2 decks together because they're really quite different, but I'm loving them together. Um, for June, I think June is really when I started putting these 2 decks together. Feels like that wants to come out, so we're going to take it. All right. 7 of Pentacles. How interesting, because, this, to me, this is like your tree of life. These are the pentacles that you're planting now. I hope people don't mind us, but I do read your comments. And someone said we need to start focusing on the future and not the past or the present. And I have to respectfully disagree. I feel like we need to focus on the present because this is where we're planting our seeds. So the future can then unfold, right? Some of these seeds I feel like are planted before we even came into this lifetime. It's like, something of a soul's desire. I'm getting this feeling like some may have lived a difficult life, but I feel like that's because your soul asked for it. Now, I know some are going to be like Sandy, but that's what I'm feeling. Um, and that means that you can overcome. And it means that there's purpose behind it. You know what I mean? Like some of the difficult situations you may have dealt with, if you've overcome them, well, then give yourself that credit. But also think about the seeds you're planting right now. You're manifesting very quickly. What seeds am I going to plant? If I plant no seeds, I have no harvest. I will have no harvest. I feel 7, first of all, very spiritual number, but I do feel like this is these seeds are like, again, what's meant to be. Doesn't guarantee us that it will be, right? Because we have free will, just as we were meant to. But it's interesting, it's coming under the marriage card. We have the tower. Well, you know what I feel like that is? Exactly what I was just talking about. Like the different situations that you dealt with. And I have a feeling some of you, you may be in somewhat of a difficult situation, and maybe like subconsciously, if not consciously, you're wishing for this tower. The tower is disruption. The tower, can be endings for sure. But it's not the end of the world. It's just the ending of that. It can hold us back for a moment. You know what I mean? But maybe it means we need to reflect upon it. Like if I want this tower, why? Chances are there's something you're unsatisfied with right now, and you want some changes. And I feel like the universe is like working on your behalf. So I'm not fearing this tower at all because I don't feel like this is you. I don't feel like this is like someone giving you the tower. I feel like this is you within your own life. And it doesn't have to mean like in every situation, but maybe in love. Like maybe I was with someone who I thought was the one, and it turns out that they were not. Doesn't mean that there wasn't something I didn't learn from that. Sometimes what you're learning is what you no longer want. Like, okay, I don't want that again. So that's why you definitely want to reflect upon, let's just say the chapters of your life, and not to judge yourself, to know yourself. You know what I mean? Again, if I find myself like in repeat patterns, then I want to look at my vibration. Like, why do I keep bringing back these difficult situations? Could be something that you just haven't learned, right? Or you could be looking at your past with regret. And listen, I get it. I've, I get it. I've had a difficult life. Um, but I also have had plenty of things to be thankful for at the same time. So, but anyways, I do get it. All right, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I call her my psychic detective. I feel like she can get in those nooks and crannies, pick up the details other people miss. This is great energy also for like business ownership, um, being the boss. I feel like I know what I'm doing. Even if I don't know everything I need to know, I still feel like I know what I'm doing, right? Like, or at least I trust that this is the direction I should take. And let me tell you, if anyone's going to be able to figure out that tower, it's the Queen of Pentacles. Now, when I say the Queen of Pentacles, unless you're connected to an earth sign, this is you. You know what I mean? Like, we are all queens, all kings, right? It's just what experiences have we had? So I definitely feel like, the psychic detective. Look at this. We have the world right under your major arcana, right under temperance, right? Here, again, it says patience. But I feel like something is changing, especially with the tower here. Again, I feel like I don't fear this tower. If anything, this tower feels like it's going to help me move on a path that maybe I've always wanted to. At least my soul has. Remember, we're born with amnesia, so a lot of times we're not sure what our soul really requested, but we'll feel it. It's like you feel that's your intuition. Have a feeling the days of patience or needing to be patient are coming to an end. Oh, all right. Let's see if we can get one more. But whatever wants to come out. Look at that. The 10 of Cups. Hello. So we open the reading with the marriage card or commitment. And I say that because I don't feel everyone wants to get married. Like I'm in my 60s, and yes, I am back with my first love. And by the way, all of it unexpected. All of it changed my life. And I left Rhode Island and moved back to my hometown, or my home state, Pennsylvania. So you just never know. You never know. But can I project to the universe like what I would really like, how I would like my life to look? Absolutely. I feel like, but then let go of, because I feel like our prayers are answered, but many times they're answered differently than what we expect. But I feel that they're answered differently because it's something better. Maybe, just like not to talk about myself, but this does feel like exactly what I went through. Like I broke up with someone I had been with for 25 years. And then 2 weeks later, bam, Sam reaches out, who I hadn't seen in 40 years. And we just like immediately picked up where we left off. Doesn't mean it was all easy because we did break up a few times on the phone. But then we'd make up, you know what I mean? But I think it was more me, like the fear of making the major change. But then eventually I did. One day I decided, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And I went on and I booked myself a plane or a flight. And that was that. And now here I am. Now, I'm only using myself as an example because I recognize this energy. And I do feel like this is saying to you, first of all, the 10 of Cups is coming under the 3 of Cups, rejoice and celebration. It's also mirroring the 7 of Pentacles. So it kind of feels like a seed is definitely coming to fruition, maybe sooner than later. And again, I feel like, yes, I've had to have patience. Maybe I even, like for a little while, stopped believing that anything good can happen. I know that energy, right? Like nothing's going to change. And then it does. And then it does. Okay, let's go ahead and bring the Psychic Tarot back in. First of all, let me move these up. There we go. Interesting. Okay, that's a lot of cards, but you know what? I think I'm just going to take them. That's a lot of cards, though. I feel like it's too many cards, so let's go ahead and shuffle through these. All right. Hello, Empress. What a beautiful energy to manifest from. Let's talk about the Empress. I do feel like the Empress has the wisdom of all the queens and the kings. Why? Because I've been there, done that, overcome. The Empress is very creative, and I feel like your creative house is going to be on fire for June. So, I feel like, no, this is not just talking about love. It's talking about your whole life, really. The Empress has a beautiful vibration. She has learned to keep her heart open. She's learned to stay nurturing, right? It's like, someone could have changed my energy for a while, but then I find myself again. She's nobody's fool. And I feel like when the Empress comes out, you want to trust in that energy. It's saying that you don't really need a fear-based mind for what's entering into your life. Instead, just be open to it. Be open to it. I feel like, again, a wish is being answered. And it could be two wishes, by the way, because I do feel like your creative house on fire. And I feel like meant to be, you know what I mean? Like, not just because, it's because it was meant to be. Like, June was meant for you to really trust that creative self. And I know you're creative. My sister-in-law is Sagittarius, and she's an art professor. And a lot of Sagittarians I know, are very creative. So why not use that, right? All right, anyway. I also love the Empress mirroring the marriage card because she's not going to run from that. If this is talking about anyone that's coming into your life, and I do feel like this would be new because, again, I feel like the Tower put an end to one part of your life, but then the world is now opening up the next part. And it just so happens, again, that the Ten of Cups is following that. This is the house of harmony, house of love, laughter, joy, playfulness. Doesn't mean there's no issues in this house. Everyone's got their issues. But this family, or these two, because I feel like this could be talking about blended families also. And for some of you, I feel like you are just going to feel so good. You know what I mean? I feel like you are just going to be open. Maybe something comes in and it's like, wow, I didn't really believe I could manifest. I didn't really believe what Sandy said. And then I do. All right. Well, 33. Um, you guys know we see that all the time in the reading, but I do love that they're right next to each other. Some of you could certainly have a master number 33. Remember, if that's the case, you're here to master something. And if you have a master number, sometimes you ask, like, okay, what am I here to master? Well, look at life path number 3. Read about that. And then look at life path number 6. Usually the lessons lie in, well, the 3 and the 3 would be a 6. That could be relationships. Hello, Emperor. Hello, Emperor. So look at this. It's like two people are joining together. And I just love the image on this card. I love how, it's not that they're holding hands, it's like they're holding arms. It's literally like they're saying, I got you. I got you, babe. Oh, the lawnmower's awful loud right now. But this partnership and alliances is connecting the Empress and the Emperor by power couple. I mean, when I think about love, and I think of, let's just say, high vibrational love, this is who I look for. When they come out in the same reading, it tells me, first of all, let's talk about the Emperor for a second. The Emperor is someone that, in the upright, is someone we can look up to. This is someone who has also lived a lot of life and has also learned from that and now helps his fellow man, as so does the Empress. It's interesting that I talked about soulmate energy with temperance, which I very seldom do without the soulmate and card here, but I felt it. Wow. Look at this. Well, there you go. I should have just turned the card around. There are our soulmates. How do we deny that? Right under the Ten of Cups, which is right under Rejoice and Celebration. Two of Cups is mirroring the Empress. The Empress is mirroring the marriage card. In between the Emperor and the Empress, they're joining together. The world signifies this is new. But even though I don't think that we should look so far off in the future, or let's say, first of all, this is a soulmate. So you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that immediately. There's a tenderness to it. I don't even know how to explain it. There's just a tenderness to it. Like a lot of, and yes, it could also be a twin flame relationship, but I feel like, don't seek a twin flame relationship. Um, like just let it find you if that's the case. Um, and I don't feel like, I don't know. Like, I don't like to even give titles as it relates to love. Love is love. Some love is on a high vibration, and some love is not. Well, this is. And now I feel thankful for that tower because I feel like without the tower, without it kind of is signifying without something ending. And maybe that's what divine timing is talking about. It then brings the opportunity for something new to open up in your life. Well, just look at everything that follows. Holy cow. This doesn't just say soulmates, it says spiritual union with the Ten of Cups above it. They are on the same vibration. Look at them looking eye to eye. The eye is the window to our soul. Mm. I'm getting this message. I feel like there's at least one person out there where I feel like you might have met someone, let's just say around Christmas time, around the holiday time. And, I may just have met them at a party. But then, the party ended. I went my way. They went that way, their way. And then, I don't know. You may be hearing from someone because it's interesting because I feel like, and, I'm saying the holidays. Um, but I don't know. It could be really any holiday. But I feel like I meet someone, we go, and then the party ends or whatever we're at. It could be like a work situation, right? I go my way, they go their way, but I feel like I never stop thinking about them. And I have a feeling they never stop thinking about you. Now, that's just one scenario, but I am feeling that for someone. By the way, the Emperor is also a father figure, also can be a boss. Now, I don't know. Some of you may be connecting, but though it's the same breath, the Empress and the Emperor are in the same vibration. So I don't feel like one is above the other. No. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Oh my gosh, the lovers. Hello, lovers. Called Harmony here. Look at them. Look at them. Card of Gemini. The meaning of this card is a head over heart decision. And that could certainly be the case. Some of you may already have someone in mind. But yet, you may have been in a certain type of energy where, it's almost like, maybe I'm with someone, but I am so unsatisfied because I feel like that would have to be the case. Like I want change. Maybe you made a head over heart decision. Maybe you followed your heart. Doesn't mean you left your head out of it. See what's underneath it. Look at that, the three swords. Okay, well that makes sense because I feel like I'm done with the three of swords energy. I'm done with, if you're not, if you can't love me, then step aside. Because I know that there is someone out there who can. You know, if someone's not going to work on themselves and their vibration, and what I mean by that is someone is like a taker, right? I take and I take and I take, and I don't think about giving back. Well, how long will that last? Now, that's up to us though, because sometimes it can last a long time. And maybe that's why it's saying some of you had to make a head of a heart decision if you want to change in your life. And again, I feel like that's why I feel like this tower, it's not given to you, it's you giving it to another, or you're telling the universe, I'm ready for change. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of this deck. Well, hello, sun. Beautiful. This is illumination. This is playfulness. I feel like your energy's changing. I feel like you're going from maybe from some difficult situations into a period of time where it's like the kid in you comes out. Some of you could certainly be, if you're if you're moving, this could certainly signify like a hometown or a place where I have very good memories of. If I'm worried about loving again, the sun is your illuminator. And what that means is if you pay attention to your intuition, and if someone comes into your life and they don't have good intentions, the alarms will go off. The signs will be sent. The Empress knows that. So it's like allowing yourself to live carefree. Now, when I say that, I know, we have certain responsibilities in life, but I mean like bringing out that inner child again. Believe in miracles. I feel like that came directly from your guides. Believe in miracles. Wow. The lovers, the soulmates, the emperor and the empress, my beautiful power couple. Your major arcana, patience, right? But now we're moving into accelerated motion, right under to the world, a new chapter. But it's almost like showing you the potential of where this can go. And the Ten of Cups is where I would want it to go. Okay, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. I knew this was going to be a great reading. I just knew it. And I say great reading, but I really want, like, when you watch at least my readings, I really want you to pay attention to all of it. And what I mean by that is, life, listen, life can give us lemons, right? We just have to learn how to make lemonade from it. We need to be bold in our choices, bold in how, we want our lives to be. And if, someone is coming in between that and they are in a lower vibration, then it really is up to you to make those changes. But once you make those changes or a change, it's like the universe just falls in line with you. Hmm. Okay. I don't know if I cut them. I don't feel like I did. So let's do that. I do that because I like to introduce each deck into the reading. kind of like to continue the story. All right. We're going to start at the beginning, but we are reading them as a whole. First of all, I just realized like the three corners. You have the marriage card, you have rejoice and celebration, you have the Empress, and then you have spiritual union. And you literally have partnerships and alliances like coming together after the fact, after the tower. Okay. I could just go on and on. All right, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. I know what I was gonna say. Like when you watch Tarot, what you want to be careful of, because I know a lot of people feel like, oh, it's a bunch of empty promises. Well, they are empty promises if you don't do anything to enhance your own life. You know what I mean? Like, this is not saying, like, oh, miracles are just going to happen. No, you're the one. It's you. You're putting that intention out there. And your team, your divine team, is paying attention to that. And it may simply say, but first we need this tower energy to happen, right? It's almost like the death card. Like we need to close the door to one so that the next door can be fully opened. We have the Hermit, card of Virgo. Um, you know, when I think of the Hermit, there's a lot of things I think about. I think about the spiritual journey of the Hermit. I feel like the Hermit, has gone through the dark night of the soul. And many times in that dark night, I'm seeking the light. And what I find through that reflection is I am the light. I am my own savior. Yes, divine is working hand in hand with me, but I can save my life. I can change my life. This is deep reflection, but this hermit, like you'll either see the hermit like entering a cave, and to me, that's like when I'm really in that deep reflection, maybe trying to figure out like what the hell happened here. But this hermit is leaving that cave. And look what his lantern is illuminating. Snake. And that just means, to me, it's a message that your spiritual team, especially with the sun here, will help illuminate anything that you fear will come your way. And if let's just say you fear maybe the same type of energy that you don't want, well then that lantern, that's your lantern. That's your light. That's your intuition. And it's illuminating the snake, the serpent. It's also a nine. So remember, nines are about final reflection. Yes, I do want to do this reflection. And I feel like through this reflection, this is really where your spirituality just starts to really grow. This is when, I don't know, I just feel like everything changes, but for the better. If I worry about making another commitment to someone, the hermit to me is asking you not to worry. Instead, just to trust yourself, trust your energy. Remember the Empress, she keeps her heart open. But it doesn't mean she's anyone's fool. Look at that, the Four Swords. Healing. Healing what? Healing of the past. Well, I already know what it is. We look right under the Lovers. We have that Three of Swords. Healing your heart. Healing the mind. And what I mean by that is the things that we tell ourselves, the limited thoughts. You know, our own thoughts can lie to us, and we need to know the difference. That's why you trust your intuition. I also feel in the Four of Swords, yes, it is healing of the heart. Literally, I know that. I feel it. But there's one sword that we lie upon, and that is our own self. Like learning about oneself. Again, if I've been in like a repeat pattern and I keep, bringing difficult situations back to me, I feel like that's what that four is, or that four sword is for. Your truth. And you have every right to live the life that you want to live. Sometimes you just got to be bold enough to do it, to make the changes. But, anyways, goodbye, Three of Swords. Hello, healing. And I kind of love that it's over accelerated motion because I feel like for a lot of you, you've already been through this. Doesn't mean like I'm completely healed, like I have no worries or, I just know me now. I know me well enough and I know energy. I'm learning about energy. When you have the Hierophant, or I'm sorry, well, you do have the Hierophant under the three swords, card of Taurus, by the way. Um, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, oh, I know, I was going to say, I don't feel like healing is like a one-time thing. I feel like after every chapter in our life, take a moment, reflect upon it. What have I learned? How have I grown? What do I no longer want? Who and what has become toxic to me? And what do I want to do about that? Do I want to change my life? Or it doesn't have to mean your whole life. Though I have a feeling when one thing changes, everything starts to change, but for the better. But this is also not about like, maybe for a period of time, yes, I'm just pulling myself out of the world in a way, and I'm allowing myself to understand and to heal. But I also feel like part of the healing process still goes on as we continue to move forward. Two swords, wah, wah, over temperance, and then the Six of Swords, but it did come in reverse. Okay. All right. So we do need to talk about this. Um, it feels like to me like temperance. Again, your major arcana. I feel like she has a little message here. And if I'm someone who has stopped believing in dreams, in miracles, right? That changes can find me right where I'm at. Miracles, prayers being answered can find me right where I sit. Because this person in the Two of Swords is wearing a blindfold. And it just means to me, there's just something maybe it's taken me time to really face. I have a feeling many of you have already ripped off that blindfold. Um, because it can block an opportunity. But that means that you're blocking it. Doesn't mean it can't come back around. Like, I don't want you to worry, like, oh my God, if I don't make a change right now, then I'll never have, this type of love or this type of abundance. No, no. Because I feel like many of you have ripped the blindfold off. And why do I have the blindfold on to start with? Well, maybe I know to really manifest part of my dreams, it may take me to know, understand who and what has become toxic in my life What's held me back from living a life, the way I used to see it? Again, with the sun here, I could talk about like, your younger goal, like when you were younger, the goals that you had, how you saw love, and now you learn like, okay, well, not all love is like I thought back when I was young. But you have learned so much. I feel like Temperance is saying, because the Six of Swords is in reverse, that is what needed to be reflected upon through the Hermit's energy, through your spirituality, and allowing your spiritual team to reach you, send you signs, and then paying attention to them. So I feel like for a period of time, maybe because this is the Six of Swords is movement, and it's movement away from toxic energy. You merely got to go back one card, because when you see movement, you have to know, what am I moving from? Well, it's energy that just became toxic to you, whether it be love, whether it be a job, whatever it may be. But it also tells you the power you have. But yes, it may literally take a move, a big change. But I feel like, why do I not want to change it anyways? It's been toxic. Well, change is hard. But I feel like the minute you rip off that blindfold is the minute you jump in that boat and you start heading to calmer waters. And, it kind of feels like, and if you do that, if you're bold enough to do that, I guess, I don't know if that was the right word. I feel like immediately the universe is like celebrating you. And I feel like divine is saying, now it's time, right? Like, there's no way I feel like, first of all, the Empress nor the Emperor would live within toxic energy, right? They've come too far. They see it, they know it. Like, good luck trying to pull the wool over either one of their eyes. Some of you could have just been in a bad relationship, and it's not working, and you do want more. And if that is you, this is telling you that you can have more, right? But you do have to do your part. No blindfolds. And I feel like for many of you, this is old energy, because the Empress and the Emperor are already here with the soulmates. I feel like this is probably old energy. So maybe it's saying more like, get ready. Get ready. Here I come, ready or not. You can't hide. All right, let's keep going. We have the Page of Swords. Kind of knock the Two of Cups out of the way. Could that be communication? Absolutely. When I think of a page, I think of a couple different things, and it doesn't have to be all things, for all people. But I do feel like a lot of times a page talks about like a younger energy, a time that's gone by. But I also feel page is talking about what's in the atmosphere right now, what's about to be. And it could be literally some type of communication. But I feel like it's happening right on time. Ten of Swords over that tower. Well, good for you. And I say that because I feel like some of you've realized that you've been in these repeat patterns. You've realized that you've been taking these swords from other people over and over again. and you've realized that is not how you want to live your life. This is the energy of submission. It's almost like I expect a sword in my back, and I'll be damned, a sword comes in my back. Well, what if I turn that around? What if I turn that around? What if I realize, okay, now I get it. I've been in this repeat pattern and I no longer want it. Like I feel very, very clear on what I no longer want. And it's coming over the tower. To me, there feels like there's a lot of power in this reading. Well, hello, another page. Interesting how they're kind of looking at each other. Page of Wands. This is your inner child. You hear me say this all the time. Like, to me, the Page of Wands is my risk taker. This is someone who, this is someone who moves according to really their desires, their passions. And yes, they have fallen. This page gets back up again. It's hard to knock this page down for long. I do feel like this is your inner child. I say your inner child, but I say it in a way, especially again with the sun here, and by the way, it's like you're looking right at that 10 of swords. And don't forget, we have the 4 swords right above it, healing. So there must be some type of recognition and then saying that's no longer what I want, right? It's become toxic. I'm not going to expect swords in my back anymore. I'm going to expect good energy to come my way. But I'm going to do what I need to do also, right? I'm going to work hand in hand with divine. And listen, divine is showing you when you do that, really how your life can be. And I need to signify, yes, we do have the 10 of Cups, which is the house of love, harmony. But it doesn't guarantee there's no issues. But what I feel is any issues, we will deal with them together. Where here, I feel like it's just all been me. Like where sword after sword after sword. It's probably that energy I was feeling earlier where I felt like someone was a taker, and a taker. And maybe you gave and gave and gave, but now I feel like, had enough of that. Someone could have reached out before you've even made that final decision. And maybe that's just the way it was meant to be, to help you make that final decision. Again, head of her heart. There's no way you're not following your heart. And again, it doesn't mean you're leaving your head out of it, but I feel like this is you trusting more in your intuition. All right, let's keep going. Hello, magician. The manifester. The magician really is the mentor to the fool. And again, I feel like in the Page of Wands, I often call the Page of Wands my fool, because this is someone who does take a leap of faith. Maybe I don't know that something has the potential of going to the 10 of Cups. Maybe that's not even what I'm thinking about. Maybe right this moment, I just want to set myself free. So the magician teaches the fool, you possess everything you need for this next journey. And it's literally coming over the world, the next journey. Powerful energy for you. Right under temperance also. We have justice. Justice came in reverse. 6 of Swords, it was in reverse. I turned it around, but maybe I was meant to. Okay, so I feel like where would my issue lie? because I feel like you do want to make these changes. I feel like it's just, they're harder, Some of you may have dealt with some type of karmic energy. And if that's the case, there was a karmic lesson. That may be why we're seeing the 33 again. Justice may just say that for a while, you just didn't cut ties, even though you wanted to. Is the card of Libra, by the way. Hmm. I just feel a little resistance, that's all. A little resistance. But I have to say, with justice coming over the Ten of Cups, first of all, I don't feel like I'm living in the Ten of Cups, or at least I wasn't. But I want to be. I want to change houses. I no longer want to live in that Ten of Swords house. I want to live in the Ten of Cups house. And if I'm telling Divine that, Divine would say, then we're going to help you. But you also have to understand that if you don't put an end to the things that are no longer serving you, the people, and I don't mean that in an egotistical way, kind of mean it in a soul's way. So I feel like there had to be real realization. And I also, again, I feel like some of you may hear from someone before, like the ultimate cutting of ties. Like I feel energetically, you've already cut ties with someone. Maybe you're still with them, but energetically, you're not. It's interesting. All of a sudden, it brought an image or a vision to me where, and I don't know why at this moment it's bringing this to me, but, when my brother was um, passing, I stayed in the hospital with him and he was in a coma. Um, but I saw two spirits come in the room and saw my brother's soul lift from his body. And even though his body kept living for a couple more days, I knew he was already gone. I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't know why I'm saying this. You know, that day that I saw those spiritual beings come and take my brother home changed everything in my life. That is really when my spirituality just opened up. It's when I went to the library every day, reading every book I could find on the afterlife, on spiritual beings, everything. I mean, I would have like 10 books across my bed every day. I couldn't get enough. Now, that was back in, so oh my God, that was such a long time ago. And my life is completely different than it was the day before. Anyway, I'm not sure why I'm talking about that. Look at this, we have the Seven of Pentacles again. It's almost like two people, two souls getting ready because their seed of this connection probably, I have a feeling, was planted before you came here. It's coming to fruition. Because look at this. The marriage card again. Now, it is connecting the Emperor and the Empress. And I don't even want you to think about a sign. I just want you to think about the energy. It means both these people are ready. They know they're on a spiritual journey, and they're learning not to allow the human nature to get in the way of their spiritual journey. Certainly could be blended families, someone you're starting a family with. We do have the mother and the father. This is love. To me, this is love of the highest nature. And I say that and this is my favorite love card, because everyone in this energy wants to be there. And I feel like once we're together, good luck trying to break us up. Spiritually and humanly, good luck. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. These two have come too far. They know too much. They believe in miracles, but they also know that to bring miracles about, half of it is me and half of it is divine. But with these two Seven of Pentacles and the Empress and the Emperor, and now two marriage cards, but maybe this was marriage of over here with Justice in reverse. And I'm saying marriage, let's just say commitment. But this feels like, I don't want to say it has to be marriage, because like Sam and I are together and we're just so in love, but we're not married. But the commitment is now for a lifetime. I know that. I feel it. It's the first time in my life where I feel like I don't have to worry about the person that I'm with. I don't have to worry, like when they leave the house, that they're meeting someone else. Like, I don't have to worry about these things. It's the first time in my life. And I could never go back. Could never go back. Interesting, we have 33, but we also have 44. So 44, what would master number 44? What would the lessons be in there? Well, probably the 8, right? Allowing oneself to have a new beginning, learning that that's what life is, right? There are chapters. Things end, right? Things fade out, new things come in. It's also the number of infinity. As above, so below. No beginning, no end. Now, I say no beginning, no end, but let's say you've been with this person in this lifetime, but maybe the timing just wasn't right. Still, because again, I think of Sam and I, like, still, that doesn't mean that something won't come back together. The difference is your vibration. That's the main difference here. The difference is you're claiming your power again. Page of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles. Interesting. So, wow. I feel like not only is this saying that the Emperor and the Empress could be like the ultimate in love. And again, I'm not saying that there's never going to be an issue, but these are issues that, like we're making a commitment to work through our issues. I feel like a lot of you just been on, like many of us, have been on a learning experience. And some of you, yes, it could have been like a karmic energy you've been dealing with. But listen, that means that you have the opportunity, if you learn from this situation to pay that karma back, and then it's paid back, paid in full. Also love the Nine of Pentacles here, because I feel like whatever you want to do in your creative house, if you wonder, can I be successful? Also, I want to just say real quick that I love that the Nine of Pentacles is also connected to the Ten of Cups. So I feel like it's a love for what I do. Doesn't mean it's easy, and I do feel like a lot of you, I know a lot of my subscribers, even people who are new, I know a lot of you are spiritual healers. And I know some of you do it for a living. And you may be wondering, like, can I be truly successful at that? Eight of Pentacles would tell you yes. Nine of Pentacles is about the abundance, right? Who's seeing the abundance from your hard work? You. You reap these benefits. I love the Magician above that also, because I feel like epiphanies, ideas, use them. Some of you, I feel like something from an old day, like from your olden days, like again, a goal that you may have had. Some of you could have been, I don't know, I see the Justice card there. It could be related to like the law, that type of thing. And you may be picking that back up again. And then the Eight of Pentacles says, be willing to go into something without having to know everything. This is the type of energy that you will learn as you go. Just as you learn as you've grown. But the Eight of Pentacles says if you put your focus, wherever you put your focus is what you're going to grow. And grow. And grow. I could definitely see the Emperor and the Empress collaborating, doing something together. Maybe they have no clue in the beginning, but there has to be a lot of similarities. I definitely feel like spiritually. Like I feel like up here, if I was dealing with someone, they probably don't even know what spirituality means. Here, oh, we know, we understand, we've seen it in action. Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. Growth, evolution, doing what it is that you love, and no excuses. Don't allow yourself to give yourself excuses. Follow your dreams, even if it's just step by step. The Eight of Pentacles a lot of times speaks of the apprentice, right? The willingness to be the apprentice, knowing that if I focus on this, I will be the master teacher. I don't know, Sagittarius, what a beautiful reading. I say beautiful, but though I do recognize the hardships. And that's what I really want to get through with tarot readings, that you have to look at it all, because people, like, I've been getting comments like, oh, promises, promises. Well, why would I not give you promises? But I'm also giving you the ability to, or at least the opportunity, like, what's the word I want to use? Like, I'm trying to help to show you that you can manifest the life that you want. But you have to be bold, right? What's no longer serving you, you got to be willing to, like, put an end to it. Adios. Adios, amigos. I feel like your spirituality has grown leaps and bounds. And that's why, again, I feel like there's this protection over you. Like, I feel like spiritually you are so protected. But I also feel like you have grown so much that, again, anything that is not for your highest good, the Empress and the Emperor have learned to trust their intuition, right? They don't use a fear-based mind. Like, if the alarm bells go off, I'm going to pay attention to that. But if my heart gets activated, I want to pay attention to that also. It's just trusting in yourself, trusting in your intuition, and trusting in divine. Your whole spiritual team. Okay. Let's go ahead and take Mother Mary over this. Feels like a beautiful reading. I feel like anyone who's against you with the energy moving forward, good luck. Like, I just don't know how. I just don't feel like they could be successful any longer in depleting you of these dreams, this energy of what can be. And do I believe that it can be 100%? And that's why I talk about my own experiences. Did I think that Sam and I were going to get back together before that phone call? No, of course not. Wasn't even thinking of that. And then the phone rings. And then my whole life changed. Same thing when it comes to your creative house. Listen to yourself. You know, if you're receiving epiphanies, and the Empress, by the way, is always receiving epiphanies, she gives them the time that it needs, and then she gives birth to them. Okay, anyways, Mother Mary. Mother Mary. Children. Interesting, because I feel like some of you may have known each other as children. My heart is filled with love for children, which creates miracles and positive changes for them and me. That could be part of that Nine of Pentacles. Some of you, like you always wanted to work with children, or maybe you've started working with children. I feel like for some of you, you just like you're the child whisperer. Like children just naturally gravitate towards you. See if anything else wants to come out. We'll give it a couple shuffles. All right. I like that they all came face up. Family. Pray for my family and give this situation over to God for answers, support, and healing. Will you have all of them in this reading? Answers. Here they are. Support. Absolutely. And healing. Right there. Sobriety. My clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. You know what I feel like that means? I feel like sometimes, when we're going through like these very difficult situations, we could certainly turn to something, like drink more than I would normally drink type of energy, right? Why? I just don't want to think about all this. But does that help me? Does that help me evolve? I don't think so. Because I feel like I just wake up the next day and not only does are my problems still there, but now I also have a hangover. All right. Hello, marriage. Well, it's here twice. Now, this is the third time. I make a commitment to a healthy relationship with God, myself, and my partner. And last, but not least, home. Maybe that's why I felt like some of you like moving back home. And I know it's probably very few of you, but I do feel that. Home. I trust and follow my divine guidance about my home. Home is where the heart is. Maybe part of like cutting a ties with someone, if let's just say you were married, it could talk about home, right? But I have to tell you, through my own experiences, like every time I've moved, I've purged to the point where literally when I moved into Sam's home, I came with 2 suitcases. I had nothing else, but I couldn't be happier. Like material things don't really hold value to me anymore. It's not that I don't appreciate them. It's not that I'm not thankful for them, but I also know, it's interesting because Sam and I were watching something last night, and I think it was the Jinx, and this man was so worried about his money, right? His money. He was getting sent to prison for life, and all he could think about was his money, and then he died. He had a heart attack, and he died. And I said to Sam, I said, "Do you think he got to take his money with him?" No. God doesn't care about your money. God cares about the good deeds that you've done. So, anyways, not sure why I'm bringing all that up, but I'm sure it relates to someone. And that's, when I talk about myself, I only do that because I'm a Virgo and I don't like to talk about myself. But when I do, it's because I feel like some of you are definitely relating to that energy. Or maybe I can give you a sense of hope. Again, people come on to the readings and say, oh, that's never going to happen. Well, listen, I thought Sam and I were never going to happen again, but here we are. Who would have thought I was going to have a business like this? And my God, do I love it. But here I am. Here I am. And here you are. And I'm going to let that be. Sagittarius, I thank you. I love you. My prayer for you is that this abundance really in all ways finds you and you accept it, that you open yourself up to it. I also pray that you understand the power you have within your own life, working hand in hand with divine to bring what feels like miracles about. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.